Leah Chavla is Policy Advisor for the Migrant Rights and Justice Division at the Women's Refugee Commission. She joins us now from Washington. Thanks very much for being with us. So, in your view, this is very much a problem of the U.S. government's own making. Just explain to us why.
Sure. So this administration has implemented various policies, has several practices that are creating a problem where there really isn't any. I think for starters, and in large part, the administration is holding children, holding families and individuals for longer, including those seeking asylum in our country, and as well as is not releasing children in a timely manner from custody.
But this is a lot of this, isn't it? Is the result of the child separation, the family separation policy that the Trump administration introduced for people entering the U.S. illegally.
So, certainly that was a huge problem, and there are still families that were separated under the zero tolerance policy that want to be reunified and that have not been reunified. So certainly, but right now, it's a small fraction of those individuals. It's also part of another plan that was implemented, an agreement that was implemented at the same time that zero tolerance was taking off, a plan that makes it more difficult for children to be released from the custody of the federal government.
And what's the psychological effect that this sort of thing has on children of that age?
Sure. So, the psychological effect for children who were separated from their families, some of them were quite young. Some of those children didn't even remember their parents when they were reunified with their parents later. So it's quite a profound effect on children, on their well-being, on their development. But even for children, children who are arriving alone tend to be older, what we call unaccompanied children. And even for those children, detention for prolonged periods of time is extremely harmful to their well-being. Detention is simply just not a place where children should be, and much less for a prolonged period of time.
And what are the challenges for immigration advocates in the U.S. who are having to work with the current policies?
Yeah, that's a great question. Being an immigration advocate right now is challenging. We're dealing with trying to work with an administration that, doesn't want to compromise, that doesn't want to implement any reasonable or truly humane approach to what's going on. I think that's one. And then two, the administration is creating crises. There is no crisis right now at the border, but their policies, again, as I mentioned, not releasing children, detaining for longer, seeking to lower conditions even for detention and to hold families and to hold children for longer. That's creating a ballooning effect. It's increasing the population that's detained. And that's what they're pointing to, but that's not a real crisis.
Good to speak with you, Leah Chavla, joining us there from Washington. Thanks very much.
Thank you.